Yeah, good also. I mean,
Good.
the last time I was feeling a bit anxious because it was my first time helping out on the behinds, but now I'm cool with everything.
You're a pro now.
No, 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 you're the pros. Uh,
No. It takes a team for sure. Good news. Like, we're not live, right? Are we on YouTube right now? Or
Now we're live.
okay, awesome.
It's just a little bit chit chat before we actually get started. So, we're live now on YouTube and now live on Zoom finally. So first of all, thank you all for joining us today on this series that we're making. It's basically a warm up, right? A warm up before the hackathon. We usually have a lot of people asking us about what's this experience like, and most of all, does this actually has a return on my investment of time, especially, right? Because the fee is pretty low. It's mostly time, right? And as a
Hmm.
sponsor, probably people also wonder if it's something that it's worthwhile to actually invest and engage with this community and how this community works. So we're here to talk about and get a little bit into those details with you, Cody, because you're into all these initiatives and you are probably the wisest person to answer all these questions. So thank you for.
I don't know about the wisest, but yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yes.
So thank
Yeah, I've
you
been
so
involved
much.
for a few years now. So go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So Cody, first question and the most important of all, I guess. And this is not under script. What was your hackathon experience like? Why did you get so
Yeah,
passionate about it? And why does this has such a power in your guts, why you love being engaged with this community?
sure. Yeah, great question. So I first got started with the AEC hackathon back in 2015 when Damon and Greg came down and hosted the one here at UCLA in LA, SoCal AEC hackathon. I believe that was the first one, my first opportunity. And I went there on the first night and I didn't pay because originally you had to pay the first night for the free pizza and beer and stuff. I didn't drink any pizza or beer. I wanted to see what was going on first, sort of dabble my toes because I've never done a hackathon before, but
Yeah.
like the content was definitely my expertise, my interest, contact, AEC tech. So I went, saw the lightning round. After the lightning round, I went on the Eventbrite. I paid I think in person was like 400, $500 or something for AEC, the built environments professional, which I am. And then I partook in the entire weekend. I didn't join a team. I just kind of bounced around because I was so passionate and interested in what everyone was doing. Just being there and being a watcher, right? And seeing all the different hacks, which we still have people do that today, especially like built environment professionals. We kind of just want to peer into all the different things that are going on. So I was guilty of that. I was that guy. And then, just talking with Damon and Greg and seeing their passion over that weekend, and then growing into going to multiple other hackathons. Like I've been to a lot of the US domestic hackathons, hosted one here in LA, and helped just been, kind of a helper as much as I can in any way possible. And really the passion of the overall community just aligned with my passion for technology and for building community. So ever since that first hackathon, it's been a wild, great ride. My passion's built with the team, the community. It's actually been a pivotal point in my career as well. It opened up a lot of new doors and avenues for my career path in ways that I never really thought of because it was so much more also a thought exercise on my part of seeing what's out there in the technology community and the opportunities for application of technology. And it's like I said, it's been a fun ride ever since the first one.
You mentioned that you had career opportunities due to this community that you got yourself engaged with. So, what are some opportunities that people in general can find at a hackathon or in this community? Maybe you can give
Sure.
some personal example. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, even seeing other people come and attend and not know what the hackathon is, coming from the built environment. So I'd say for covering the built environment professional first, since that's kind of my route that I've taken through this experience. I came in as a VDC slash R&D director of a trades company. And, I've already been doing all this research over the years. My whole career path has been based on technology, BIM, specifically about 18 years now, started in architecture. But, with the emergence of construction, more the Contech domain of, from about 2009, 2010, and really building up with that. When I hit in 2015, it was kind of like this perfect moment of all these people coming together and really building your own career path, because that's what I've done from that point on, realizing that I had the power to figure out, okay, there's this emerging technology, and whatever it is, if it's VR, AR, robotics, um, any given technology that's on the table, you can really jump into what you're most passionate about, maybe, or what you see is the most promising. For me, it's been XR, VR and AR. So it really gave me the opportunity to have hands-on with developers and learn how to build careers through hackathons, or build those relationships with developers and learn how to sort of speak their language and know enough to be dangerous, or build on what I already knew from my existing research. And I built some really cool things at some of these hackathons. Some of these really big proof of concepts and opportunities have come out of hackathons for me specifically. And I sort of picked the technology and followed it. And it's
Yeah.
building up, and
You
then
you you just jumped into a rabbit hole, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just going down that rabbit hole, and you just it's been fun. It's a shiny ball of yarn. There's so many I'm like a little kitten, and there's shiny ball of yarn over here to go and chase, and then there's another one I get more interested in, and I go hit that one, and chase the shiny yarn around. That's what it feels like, though, almost on like a weekly basis. And the hackathons, like I said, it's really opened up doors to it's not so much also just personal growth, but also seeing other people growing, and then also having that interaction on the community level, and seeing other people grow, which is really awesome, and grow in their careers, and come in. We've had a few teams come in and have a hack challenge, and they come up with a solution over a weekend, and they roll it into a company, or they maybe already had a company going, and it's in early startup, maybe in stealth mode, and they work on that through the hackathon, and they build very quickly because it's a hackathon. You have everybody's attention for a weekend, and then they just explode from there. So and that's a good point with the online hackathon. It's not just a weekend, it's not just 48 hours. It's 2 full weeks pretty much, which is a lot more time. And of course, people are juggling
Definitely.
at the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I feel like people are getting more out of it. Since that first one, it seemed like um, there was more to the challenges. When we saw
Yes.
the presentations, so which is really exciting.
And that's something that I would like to ask you, right? We have the challenges, and you shared a little bit about your personal return of investment, right? You built a whole different career out of it. But let's say I'm a company, right? And I'm looking at this amazing community that come up with several different hacks, and I'm quite uneasy if I should join or not. What's the community like? What kind of people will I find there? Um, how does it work if I'm a company
Mhm.
looking into this event?
Sure. Yeah. So I would speak from so there's a few different companies that would be particularly that would be interested. So maybe first for those out there that are looking in as from the company level to get your employees, participating. The benefit to that is, you're going to get a lot of R&D potential. Pick one vertical of, like of a technology that your company is interested in. Have your team come, or just one employee come and join the hackathon and join a group or create your own group. And you're going to see an explosion of R&D potential, really testing out a technology, testing out a solution to a challenge, because you're going to have a lot of hands-on and opportunity to talk to technology professionals that will be able to give you a lot of advice and hands-on assistance. It really depends on who you engage and how you engage them, I'd say. But we have a really great community of tech professionals that are very willing to help out and have hands-on and are excited to help built environment professionals build something, over this 2 weeks, not just the weekend, for this coming version 2. And then at the companies that want to sponsor, we have a few sponsors again. We even have repeat sponsors for this version 2, which is great. It shows that they've found value in actually being a paid sponsor for the first version of the first online hackathon. And they're finding value through getting their employees involved, and getting your employees involved does help your company, but it also helps your employees in their career path. It helps them grow as an individual in their career, which I think is very important for companies to do. Focus on your employees, and if they're passionate, everything should follow from along that path. So that's a great point for the sponsorships. The sponsorships also, depending on what level, I believe it's platinum. If you go to platinum, you have a challenge around anything that you have. If you're a built environments company, maybe you have a challenge around using 360 photos out on a job site, and you have a specific use case that you want to use. An example, you could put that challenge out because you paid the sponsor the platinum sponsorship, and then you're able to also announce a challenge and have multiple other teams form around that challenge, and then you get to pick the best solution that you feel, and then you award them some prize money for the best hack for your challenge, which is that's a great way to get something going, get something started. If you're just a company that has a challenge and you want to get something off the ground, or you want to put some R&D into it, I'd say go for that route, because it's gonna be probably the best bang for your buck. And then you'll also engage individuals that might be able to join your team and assist you down that path of whatever challenge or solution that you're building for a challenge. So in my mind, that's really the two different types of companies, verticals companies would come in at. And of course, there's the on the tech side, and it's a clear shot for those guys. I think the tech companies totally understand what hackathons are, where the ROI is with them, getting their brand out, getting their software out. So if maybe you're a content company that has an open API, or you want to have some teams build around something in your software or your hardware, you can sponsor and bring that to the table, and there's definitely instant ROI throughout the week, because you're having people use your product, which is definitely always a good thing.
Yeah, and there's something else, right? We also have startups that maybe are not tech and that are not AEC, maybe that fall in between, right? Maybe there are also companies that might be interested on the hackathon. Last time we had an awesome company, Vim, right? And they were just simply awesome participants as sponsors. And if anyone else that might be one of these companies, please contact Cody. He will
Any
be,
one of us.
yeah, he will be happy to give you insights on that. But there's something that you mentioned and that I would like us to talk a little bit about is, of course, we have the fees, right, for sponsors, and might be a platinum or I don't know, silver. But the point is that even though we have two sponsors that are paying the exact same fee, the takeouts might be different depending on how much energy and not only money you put into, right? So how to make the most out of an online hackathon, because the presential hackathon, you show up and you engage and you can walk around and feel the environment, right? But when it's an online hackathon, it's different, right? It's another universe. So Cody, how to make the most out of a hackathon as a company that is sponsoring and then as a participant?
That's a great question. So for a company, it's actually a very challenging question, I would say, because it depends. What is the takeaway that a company and an individual would like? Specifically, let's go after the companies first. The takeaway for a company is, it really depends. What do you want to take away? Come to the hackathon with an idea of what you want to get out of the hackathon, right? And be open to shifting that idea and changing that idea throughout the hackathon, because be flexible, because things happen. You're in a community of individuals, a bunch of different thoughts bouncing around and opportunities, and you don't have to. I know a lot in. I'm getting in trouble for saying this, but construction companies
We're
like to come to the
alive.
table. Like to come to the table, and they like to think that they have the best idea in the room, but that's not always the case, guys. What I'm saying here is be open, and then also be open with what whatever if you're a company bringing a challenge and you're working with individuals, be open with your ideas. Don't hold it near and dear to your heart, and protect it because you think that the competition is going to get a leg up. That's not what the hackathon's about. The hackathon's about being open, sharing, open sourcing, and sharing what you built. But of course, you can take stuff away from that, and you can wrap in IP around that. So I'm not saying don't do that as you move on, but definitely share ideas. So the takeaway from that, I would say, is come in with an idea. If you're bringing a challenge, bring a challenge, and not only bring a challenge, but engage the community. Right? Get the interests of the attendees to want to participate in your challenge. Right? As a company bringing a challenge to the table. If you're a company that's just kind of fly on the wall, looking from the outside in, I think Damon calls it like the fishbowl or something like that, where you have a participant that's watching all the fish swim around to have fun. Definitely engage. Be those fish. Some thoughts from the built environment, right? Give them some knowledge of your experience of boots on the ground, or from the office, because some of the technology professionals that are joining, even the built environment professionals, might not have your knowledge or your experience. So that you're now offering up stuff for other individuals to have takeaway as well. But I think that could be a personal takeaway for companies, is being able to help individuals, get them interested in your company. That level of engagement is always great. For the attendees, it's open. There's a lot of opportunity. Again, come to the table with an idea of what you'd like to accomplish throughout the hackathon. Whether it's you have your own challenge and you want to get it up at the lightning round on the Friday and say, I have XYZ challenge to solve ABC solution, whatever. Do that. And if you're able to get people to jump on your team, awesome. You know what? That's great. You've done a great job. but you know what, be open again, because maybe some the other individuals that are at this hackathon specifically aren't interested, or are more interested in another one of those shiny balls of yarn, as I explained, another idea that they'd be more passionate about. So be open to shifting and jumping onto other teams, that you find of interest. Maybe that's what you come to you didn't come with a challenge and you just want to be a participant in another team. That's the way that this works. The overall hackathons work, right? We have people attend and then we form teams around these challenges. And these challenges can be really anything, as long as it has to do with the built environment. The last hackathon, we had a kind of stretch, but it happened to be in the end. It happened to be when the challenge was the best hack, and it was around building tree houses with kids, right? Because we're in quarantine and everybody has their kids at home, right? So I know you know this experience. I mean, kids at home, being home with the kids all the time, right? So we got to engage them somehow. In the end, it was built environments, right? They're using all these processes that we use in the built environment to capture data and digest data and all this stuff. So great way to get the kids involved also. Not saying that you have to do that, but it's got to be around the built environment, right?
Create small engineers and architects, right?
yeah. The next generation, yes, exactly. So individuals, your takeaway can be that example is a great takeaway for parents out there. You got 2 weeks to hang out with your kids and start building something cool that might fall into their STEM/STEAM projects in the future or something like that. Get them involved, interested. So that's a great takeaway as a parent, I would say. So there's many takeaways to be had from anyone and everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And as you were saying, there are the challenges, right? So a good starting point maybe for participants is to go after the challenges, or is it more about community and building a network of amazing people that you can meet?
Sure. Not really for me to say, but for me personally, I'm all more about building community and those relationships, right?
Yeah.
The challenges are cool. Like if you bring a challenge, that's what got me really involved is I bring challenges and then I to hackathons and then get a solution, walk away with a solution, and then go and build on it more and more after the hackathon, which is great. But what's lasted longer is those connections in the community that I've made over the years. And I'm still here. I'm now a part
organizer,
of the
right?
online, right? The organizer, yes. So it goes to show that for me, it's been the community. But for anyone else, I would suggest dabble in both and see where it takes you, for sure.
Yeah, and there is this Slack, right? So in case you're wondering how this community works, we do have a Slack channel that it's open right now. So in case you want to know how is this community and how it works, and maybe start to get engaged to decide either you're joining us or not on October, that's probably a good idea. So go to hackac.com, log into our channel, and just figure it out by yourself. And one final question, Cody, why the AEC hackathon is important, like for individuals, right? Why is it a big deal for me? So let's say I'm an AEC professional. Why would that be a big deal for me as an investment or as a return of investment, right?
Right. Well, for the I'd point out first for the online hackathon, the point of entry is very low. It's not very expensive. I think how much is it right now? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but all I can tell is that you don't have to pay a flight ticket, right? And that's a huge start.
Hotel, flight ticket, yeah. So and it's worldwide also. So you're connecting on Slack. We have a Zoom channel that's going 24/7 for the 2 weeks, where you can just jump in and say hello. Happy hours to network. So I know that a lot of people are probably zoomed out by now, but with all the Zoom meetings,
Oh my God.
internet calls, much like the one we're on right now. But
Right?
it's kind of different though with the that open Zoom meeting. It's cool. I definitely participated quite a bit because you get to just kind of jump in and talk. It's not so structured. You're able to just kind of have fun in the Zoom meeting in a way, right? Talk about what's going on during the hackathon, what's going on in life, whatever, with people that you made connections with throughout. But for me personally, that I've made connections with at different hackathons across the country. But also now there's the opportunity to network and meet other people that maybe you haven't met yet in different communities. And that's another great thing about this. Another value is you can be anywhere. Like you were saying, you can be anywhere and be participating in this. So that barrier to entry is no plane ticket, no travel, no hotel. You're just in your PJs in your living room sipping coffee and hacking, right? Which is
Yeah, the
great.
whole
And then
democratization of it, right? Because
mhm.
it's not so expensive. So either you're a broke student or
Right.
a CEO, you can join the same environment with no trouble on debt.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And participate as you're able to participate as much as you want to and as little as you want to on any given day. Right. So which is good. I find that actually works out because it's 2 weeks, to do a full 2 weeks, 24/7 is a lot, as an organizer, it's a lot.
Yeah.
As an attendee, it's a lot. So you're able to, split it up and donate the time that you do have. Obviously let your team know when you have time and when you don't, or how much time you do have to donate to the challenge that you're participating in, just to set the goals and opportunities that people know that are presented, you being a part of the team. So um, it it's a big takeaway. Again, I say for career path, individuals should look at this as an opportunity to broaden their career path, and their knowledge of construction technology and their community network, right? So, which I'm big on networking. I think it's very important for career growth and opportunities out there. Because at the end of the day, as we're working AEC is very much a team sport, right? It's a team job. We work in teams of teams to build buildings. So the more people you know, the more skills you have, the more opportunity. That's how I like to do it, for sure.
And I mean, network is gold nowadays, right? Especially in this worldwide, I don't know how to say, but it's like we're not in local markets anymore, right? We have a worldwide market. It's not like you're restricted to your own city. And being able to basically benchmark what everyone else in the planet is doing, right, is hell of a great competitive advantage. And maybe building relationships, and especially building funny and useful things in this few weeks, it's like extra. So great opportunity. And for you right now, that's your final question. Probably your return of investment was this gold network and a career change, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
no, go ahead, please.
No, I was just going to add on that. Yeah, it's it really has been that opportunity to career path change for sure. Learning more about different technologies, learning more about the technologies I was interested in, building upon that, building new businesses, building pretty much choosing my own career path, which is really exciting. It's been exciting for the past 5 years for sure. Um, and then the community, the relationships I've built over the years have been some of the best relationships I have today, like great people in general, across the board, and people that I call my close friends today. So that's a big opportunity, I would say, also within the built environment and the technology career paths is, you know, that network that you're creating, you're becoming a part of it. It's not necessarily you're creating, you are creating because you're becoming a part of it. But that tapping into that, it's been gold for me. So I hope everybody else finds that opportunity and sees it the same way that I've seen it.
And any final words before we close this Q&A session?
Okay. Final words. Are there any Q&A in the chat logs or anything?
Let me check. No, we just have Chimba saying good night, and that's it. So if you have, you can go ahead and say your big final message for us to check out in 5 years. It's like your own little time capsule.
Yeah, we'll be looking at this in 5 years from now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say go to hackaec.com, sign up this afternoon. Totally worth it. Get on board. If you're a sponsor, reach out to me. You can hit me on LinkedIn, Cody Nowak, on LinkedIn. You can find me on Twitter at DisruptAEC. Reach out to me. Ask me any questions you have about sponsorship, and I'll be happy to work with onboarding you, getting your team going at whatever level makes sense for your organization. And we want everybody that's on the call or watching this after to get involved. Come on, join our community, jump on our Slack channels, and attend this coming AEC hackathon.
Definitely. In the worst case scenario, you will find yourself a lot of friends. So
not bad thing to have.
Exactly. So join us. We'll be really happy to have you. And just to keep things fresh, it will be from the 5th to the 25th, right? The first week is only workshops. So there is no community or hacking actually. It's just hands-on, so you can understand a little bit more about the tools. And from the second week on, then we'll have the hacking presentations to inspire you, and this whole networking on Zoom and with a lot of different people from all over the world. So that's it. Thank you. And if you like this initiative, you are also free to donate, right? If you don't want to join, but you feel like you should donate, make a donation, we are also open to that. So just go there to HackAEC and you will find all the information you need. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye, Cody.
Bye.